Hey, all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly values, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I'm your hostess, femininity coach, and author of The Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So, Steve Harvey and his veneers finally, after 900 years, wants to get tough and talk tough about Katt Williams. Way later, not in front of Katt Williams' face. I'm pretty sure that Katt is not difficult to find and would not be opposed to say whatever he said in any interview in front of Steve Harvey's face. Katt just don't seem like the type of person that minds to repeat to you what was said. I mean, millions of people heard it, literally. And so Steve heard it, obviously. And so therefore, it wouldn't even pay to deny that you said it or backpedal in any way. So I'm pretty sure that Katt is not scared of Steve, because who would be? But I'm gonna let you hear what Steve Harvey had to say. Now, this is supposed to be at an investment event. I don't know what kind of event called for this conversation, but I'm gonna just let you hear it.
Ass hater who is, and you'll never have a hater that's doing better than you. Always know that. Don't get off the wall to dress some pity any ass boy who ain't got shit going for himself. Now you done stopped your climb up on the wall so you can come down here and talk to his little punk ass. Don't do that, man. I stay away from it. Now, do I want to? Yes. Because I'm a human being and I'm hood. I used to be a fighter, and I still got hands. They slow, but if you get up on me real close, I can still knock your monkey ass out here. I just don't have the quickness I have. But I still know how to turn my hip and shift that weight, and I'll knock your short ass out. I'll shoot your perm straight out your head. You know what I see.
And so you was able to hear the foolishness that his veneers was talking about. Look, don't nobody care about none of that. Okay, you too old. First of all, you too old to be trying to talk about what you gonna do to somebody. Okay, talking about something on site. Boy, ain't nobody worried about that. Okay. Secondly, he didn't ever say Katt was lying on him, though. See, when you have, I'm gonna tell you something. When you have these type of reactions, when nobody threatened bodily harm, Katt has not gone around to slander his Steve Harvey's name, or to get his, or to take a bag from him, or to take some type of opportunity from him, or to, try to blackball him or anything like that. It's just that Katt Williams is able to say what these other celebrities are not able to say, because he doesn't not allow himself to be bought and paid for by the so-called powers that be. For Steve to be saying that Katt doesn't have anything going for himself, that's actually really just smug and arrogant talk. You don't know what Katt has. You don't know what he's going to do. In my eyes, from the outside looking in, Katt seems to have been very successful in his comedic career. He's certainly funnier than Steve Harvey has ever been. Just on his regular talking, Katt is hilarious. He don't have to even be doing no routine or no particular material. And aside from that, here's the deeper thing. Steve would try to bring up money. Now, he probably is worth more in terms of net worth than Katt Williams. He might be. I don't even want to bother to look it up because it's not really important. But let's say that he is. Let's say that monetarily, in terms of net worth, he is worth more money than Katt Williams overall. All money is not good money because his veneers is a bootleg. Okay? So you can't listen, when people have integrity, not all the money is good money to them, because some money comes with so many strings attached that it's not worth it. If I have to do something or agree to something that goes against my values and my principles for $1 that I could get anyway, no, I'm not going to sell. And that's really the definition of selling out. I'm not going to sell my integrity. I'm not going to sell my principles. I'm not going to sell my values for $1 that I can do without, or that I can still make while maintaining my principles and values. So Steve and Katt, I think Steve is jealous of Katt that he has been able to still make it without selling himself. And Steve was not able to make it without that. He took those deals. He took those agreements. You know what I'm saying? He made those agreements, whatever agreements that he has had to make throughout his career, for the money that he has, for the status that he has, you know what I'm saying? And to look at someone like Katt and say, wait a minute, I probably didn't have to be a low down dirty dog with some veneers on had I just had principles in the first place. And for him to bring up the money and then saying Katt is a hater, but a hater of what though? Like, if money is not the most important thing to you, then you're not going to hate on people if they happen to have more money than you. Right? Or if they happen to have maybe more fame or they more places than you, you know, publicly, or, you know what I'm saying? Because you don't see Katt hosting TV shows and this, that, and the third. That's Steve's bag, right? But just because Katt doesn't do that doesn't mean that he's hating on Steve or anybody else that actually does that. Maybe he didn't want to do that. And I don't think, and people don't never stop to think about that. Like maybe he didn't want to do that. Maybe those things came with too many different stipulations that he wasn't willing to agree with. Or maybe that's just not his lane. You know what I'm saying? You can't put me on a host to be no little show. You have to cancel that little show. You see what I'm saying? Everybody's not built for everything, and it's smart actually to understand what you built for and what you're not built for. Steve is not built to be talking about what he gonna do to Katt physically. And I don't know what he's doing. It's silly. When you have to resort to this type of foolishness, that means Katt wasn't lying. Because it hurt your soul, huh? He hit a nerve, he struck a nerve, and you replying a year and some change later almost too, because no, it's not been a year. It's not been a year. I take that back because it's still 2024. So Katt did his now famous / infamous interview on Club Shay Shay in January of this year. Right. So I'm wrong. Because for whatever reason, I was thinking it was done in 2023, but whatever. It's like these years running together. But anyway, so it has not even quite been a year yet. So you waiting didn't make this any less pathetic. You should have just kept your mouth. You should have said something right then or kept your mouth shut forever, because this just kind of lends more credibility to Katt. Because if what Katt is saying about you is a lie, then you really need to be unbothered by it. If you so much further up the ladder than Katt is, and you doing so much better than him, and he's a peon, then what does it matter if he spread peon lies? It ain't hurt you none. Nothing happened to you as a result. So, but your pride got hurt because Katt not lying on you, because you really is a low down dirty dog with some veneers on. And he just and since you can't break him, he doesn't mind saying it because he doesn't have anything to lose by saying it. Like, he's free to say it. He's free to move how he moving because he doesn't have any strings attached. I got no strings to hold me down. He doesn't have any strings. You have strings. You got people you beholden to. You got people, you know what I'm saying, organizations, this, that, and the third, that you can't make look a certain way, so you can't move a certain way. That's your problem. And I can't help but this reminds me, and some of y'all gonna kind of trip out on the analogy a little bit, or not see the connection. But this kind of reminds me, people like Katt versus kind of not liking Steve for the same reason people like Kendrick and kind of don't like Drake. It's the same reason. They not like us, right? It's kind of the same reasoning, because the people identify with Katt because he's so relatable, and he never seems like he's putting on a front. He never seems like he's not being himself. And he appears to be moving. He's doing what he wants to do, which is be in entertainment, right? He's a comedian. Okay. That's his strength. That's what he wanted to do. And he is one of the funniest comedians. Like, Katt is hilarious. Okay. Katt is hilarious. And so he's good at what he does. It's not even like he's bad. He's good at what he does. And because we're not saturated with him, he doesn't have a radio show and then a TV show and then, you know what I'm saying, a talk show. And then he doesn't have those things. People would think that he's not being successful in his field, when in actuality, he actually is. He's talented enough and creative enough and business-minded enough to be able to be successful while maintaining his own integrity or whatever principles he has, and not sell them. So if that means he doesn't get that extra 100 million, well, then he just doesn't get the extra 100 million, right? Okay, he just doesn't get it. But it's a good trade-off, because he maintains himself and being himself, right? He maintains being himself, which is more important. Steve can't do that. He's more popular, right? Steve is more popular. He's got the TV shows and the radio shows and the this and the that, and he can be in these other places, which would give people the impression that he's doing better than Katt, or that he's better at his craft than Katt is. But that's not really true, because Steve can't really be Steve. Not in front of the camera, he can't. You see what I'm saying? And the people that are behind the scenes have already come forward in some instances to basically say how Steve behaved. Even his right-hand girl, Strawberry, was caught on a audio leak when she was talking to her husband or whatever, and talking about how Steve and Marjorie act like everybody else is the help. Right. And then there's been other people who've been employed by him and things of that nature. That's like, you know what I'm saying? He not good people. Like, he not good people. The way he behaved, the way he moved is not good. Like, he don't do so with integrity. Right. And it's the same thing. I just see the parallel between the Kendrick and Drake things, because Drake is everywhere, right? He's on every feature. He's, you know what I'm saying, everywhere. So it would give the impression that he's actually better at his craft than Kendrick is, because Kendrick is not on Instagram. Kendrick is not everywhere. He's not on social media. He's not everywhere. However, he's able to still sell out his concerts and do his tours and sell his albums, and his albums sell out. They go gold, they go platinum, you know, things of that nature. And so it would give the impression that Kendrick is not doing as well as Drake is, but that's actually not true. And he's certainly better at his craft than Drake is, right? He's certainly better. And therefore, because Kendrick doesn't sell himself, he's able to rap and be in entertainment. But he doesn't sell himself. He's maintained his integrity and his principles, right? And so therefore, if that means maybe he doesn't get that extra 100 million. Maybe he doesn't get that extra bag. But it's a good trade-off because I don't have to sell myself. I can move at my leisure, right? I can drop albums when I want to. Sometimes it's 2 years. I think the longest he went was like 5 between Damn and Big Stepper, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, right? Every other time it's been like 2 years max between his albums. But he can do that. He can drop music at his leisure. Drake can't do that. He sold himself for $400 million to UMG. So he can't move around like he wants to. He can't do the stuff that he wants. He has people and all these other things beholden to him that he's beholden to that's pull the strings for him. So he can't even maneuver or speak or do creatively things that he wants to do without having an answer to this, that one, and a third, right? So the narrative there is, oh, Kendrick's hating because I'm more popular. Actually, no, because all money is not good money. I'm not hating. Nobody's hating. Nobody from the 10 life value system is hating on nobody from the Lost value system. That's really the bottom line. And it seems like Katt Williams moves in the 10 life values. He values his spiritual self. He values his physical health. He values his children and his family. You see what I'm saying? He's valued that. And his profession, while important to him, is not as important to him as an external value as his internal values are. Right? And this isn't even about, oh, Katt's some type of perfect dude, because we've seen his imperfections. Right? We've seen his missteps and his mistakes and his foibles. We've seen those things. But somehow it doesn't diminish his character in front of anybody because he's a person that accepts his own flaws. He's never said, I'm perfect or I have this perfect image. No, I'm just a regular dude. I happen to be funny. I happen to have studied the field I wanted to get into, which was being a comedian and an entertainer. And I'm really good at it. And I pursued it. And I've made quite a few millions of dollars doing that for many years. Right? He's just regular. Steve has got this whole persona going on. But you can see, and in this clip, he demonstrates that he's not this, dude that tries to, do the best by people. Because if he was really like that, he wouldn't have said nothing. Katt would not have had a truth to tell in the first place for Steve to get mad at. So this been boiling since January. And that's not the first time Katt has said nothing about Steve. Katt will talk about, that's why he speaks so freely. Right? Because he's not afraid of getting canceled by the higher ups that made him, and then we can break you because we made you. And you can see the difference in people when it's like that with them. That these so-called powers that be, I didn't sell myself to them. So they don't have this sword of Damocles over my head all the time. Or a shoe they can drop and then I'm out of there. Just as good as I was in there, I'm out of there because they're able to pull those strings. So they pull the strings to make me in, and then they can pull the strings to get me out. And that's the beauty of when you don't sell yourself, when you don't sell out, when you don't sell your principles and values, when you don't sell them things and you're able to maintain that, that's the best feeling in the world. That's the best feeling in the world, because nobody can take that from you. You have to give people power over that. But they can't take it. You have to give it. Like, I know it be organizations and, you know what I'm saying, certain people in maybe more important places that be mad that Katt be saying what he be saying, but it's like, what you gonna do about it? What you gonna do? Nothing. You gonna sit there and be mad. Then you gotta leave it alone, because it ain't nothing you can do. And it ain't nothing Steve can do either. Him sitting there throwing a tantrum is garbage. Jump down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your host of The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.